and welcome to a look at this week's business updates here on Africanews. I'm Amelia Martha Nakitimbo. We start from West Africa, where Nigeria has asked for the postponement of the launch of the West African single currency. The eco was scheduled to be launched this year after 2 decades of planning, but looks like there's going to be more months of waiting. Nigeria's concern is expressed in a tweet sent by the Nigerian Presidency on Monday. It reads in part that the convergence criteria between states have not been met by the majority of countries. There has to be an extension of the time taken for the takeoff of the single currency, the tweet concludes. Now, meeting the convergence criteria has been a glass ceiling in the last 20 years existence of this plan. It's the reason for the 5 postponements, because the countries involved have not been able to meet all the criteria at the same time. Now, these standards involve maintaining price stability by recording a single-digit end period inflation, reducing the ratio of budget deficit in each country, limiting central bank financing of the government budget deficit, and maintaining a sufficient level of gross official foreign exchange reserves. Now, the purpose of the single monetary currency is to break down trade barriers and to increase cross-border trade, and that is by removing the hectic foreign exchange processes. However, this would also mean that the central bank of each country is rendered powerless in favor of the regional bank, and response to emergency services on a national level for member countries would also be slower. Now, the 15 members of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in 2019 displayed political will to adopt the single currency. Observers, however, raised questions over France's suspected interference. This is after former French colonies in the economic bloc opted to replace the euro-tied CFA franc with the eco currency. Now, I'm looking forward to the reaction of the other ECOWAS member countries to Nigeria's suggestion. Now, moving on, but staying with trade, the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area will be operational by the 31st of March 2020. This is the assurance given by Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo that he gave to his counterparts in a closed-door session during the 33rd AU Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. President Akufo-Addo indicated that the premises have already been furnished based on the specific requirements agreed with the AU Commission, including the installation of critical data and IT infrastructure facilities and security systems. He added that a dedicated booth at the Kotoka International Airport, Accra, has been secured to facilitate the entry and exit requirements of CFTA officials as well as representatives of member states who will be conducting official business with the Secretariat. The African Union has voted the first leader to head the Secretariat, South Africa's Wamkele Mene, who beat 119 other applicants to the job. He is from South Africa's Department of Trade and Industry and the country's negotiator during the discussions on the free trade area. Over now to North Africa. Algeria's new Prime Minister Abdelaziz Gerard on Tuesday submitted to the National People's Assembly his action plan aimed at salvaging the delicate economy. The plan, which according to an AFP report looks ambitious on paper but lacks a concrete formula for implementation, focuses on creating food security, energy transition and a digital economy. For almost a year, Algeria has seen unprecedented popular protests against the regime, which led to the resignation of long-term serving President Abdelaziz Bouteflika. However, the recent elections produced a successor who served in the old regime, and this has left the protesters dissatisfied with the current state of affairs. Gerard told the lower house that the country's financial situation is fragile and remains largely dependent on the fluctuation in the world oil market. The Algerian parliament will debate and vote on this new plan on Thursday. And that's it for Business Now. For more business developments, be sure to watch Business Africa, which airs on Thursdays, and updates will be available on air and on our website, africanews.com. I'm Amelia Martha Nakitimbo. Thanks for watching.